Okay, so yeah, in this particular demo, I'm going to be showing what VaultKit does for different queries. I'm going to be asking some business questions, and then we're going to examine, how VaultKit treats each of my queries and how it's able to handle it. So first thing is I'm going to ask a very simple, straightforward business question that doesn't contain any sensitive data, that doesn't necessarily require any sort of governance. So it's just a plain, straightforward question. And then, so something like, what can I ask? I can say group group all customers by sign up source. Then I send. Okay, so cool. We are able to get the result of our query. So if you notice, VaultKit lets the agent through. It doesn't block the agent. So what happens is that VaultKit in the background has evaluated this query and identified that there are no sensitive information. There is nothing in our policy that necessarily blocks, the agent from accessing this data here, right? So VaultKit lets it through. So one of the things that VaultKit that happened at first, the first step here, is that the agent tried to discover the available dataset. So this is very important because VaultKit gives you the level of control where you're able to determine what datasets the agent is able to even see or discover. For instance, you can have a table called transactions, for example, and you don't want the agents to see it. So the agent at no point knows or is aware that there is a table that exists somewhere that is called transactions. So the agent is only able to see or to use what is available for it to use. So in this case, is our customer dataset, which is our customer table, right? It's able to see it because we made it available for it to see. And then it's able to ask the questions and the data is retrieved. And, we're able to see our result here. So that is cool. Okay, but what if I ask a different type of question, the one that kind of contains customer sensitive data? We're gonna see how what VaultKit does, with that type of query. So if I say show me all customers, all might be a lot, so I'm gonna say show me last 10 customers, include their emails, phone numbers, and sign up sources, something like this. So when I send this request, as you can see here, it has entered into the waiting for approval phase. So the reason why is because VaultKit evaluated this query and then is able to find some customer sensitive information. And if you remember, in our policy, we already said that, we already defined it in our policy that every access to our production data that includes any form of PII information needs an approval. So VaultKit is able to block this query here and then waiting for for someone to approve it. So I'm gonna go ahead and approve this query. So first thing I'm gonna check is, I'm not sure if I'm logged in, but I can check if I'm logged in. Okay, I'm still logged in as an admin here, so I'm able to I can be able to pull up all the approval list and then be able to approve this. So I'll go ahead and do that. VaultKit approval list. So we can see the approvals. Only one approval that is pending is what we have here. So the data set is customers, So it's trying to pull the email, the first name, the last name, phone number. Okay, and then it's trying to also status is pending. Okay, so as a reviewer, I'm able to see everything I need or the details I need to be able to either approve or deny this request. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to go ahead and just approve it. So VaultKit approval, approve, and then the request ID is 148. Okay, so approval approved. So here, if you look at the chat UI here, so we have all the data that we requested for. So approval was granted, and then the agent was able to, pull the data and then show a result. Okay, if you notice here, the first name, last name, email, and phone number, those are still classified as PII information. So all of them are masked. So at no point was the agent able to see, customers' emails and phone numbers and all of those PII data. Is not able to see it. So if you see, there are two levels of controls. VaultKit allowed agents to access the overall data set when we hit approved, right? But inside the data set, it still masked some of the PII information, or all of the PII data that was available. And this is simply because of our policy that we wrote, that no matter what, we want all our PII data to always be masked. So that is what VaultKit is able to implement here. So everything is masked. The agent is not able to see anything. All that is returned that is visible to the agent is the sign-up sources, which they are not sensitive information. So cool. Also, if you look at the terminal here, you can see that we have the grant ref, which is like an identifier for the grant that was issued to the agent. So, and then we have expiration for the grant. So the reason for the expiration is that the agent doesn't have a long standing access to this data set. So after a certain period of time, which is set in our policy as our TTL, which is 1 hour, after 1 hour, this grant is expired. So the agent is not going to be able to access this data again. It needs to request a new access to be able to, access this data. So that is what the expiration thing is about. So if I send a request again, maybe I can include something like, okay, this is good. I can send this request again. So it's waiting for approval. So if I go ahead and approve this 149, so it's approved, the data is returned, and I send the same exact request again. So did you notice something? It did not require approval this time around, simply because I am sending the same shape of data, I am making the same exact request, and my grant is still valid. So I'm able to still access it. It doesn't need someone to reapprove it, since the fingerprints are the same, everything is the same, exactly the same. But if I tweak this and change it to maybe add just emails, right, without a phone number, right? Now the dataset has changed, right? So I'm only pulling the emails, and then I send this. So it's gonna require approval this time around because it's not the same. It's not the same request anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and approve this 150, and then it's able to pull the customer. It's able to show the result with all the emails masked. Okay, so this is cool. So if I revoke access, I can revoke access to this active valid grant. So I can just let me use the help command to see the command to revoke. Okay, so we can use this command to revoke the grant. So we can just do this, and then we'll pass the grant ID, which is the grant ref here. And then, so it's saying you're about to revoke grant. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue. Okay, so grant is revoked, right? And this is the time it was revoked. So if I run the same query again, this agent is not gonna be able to access that data anymore. So as you can see, it's telling you here that it seems that there was an error accessing the customer data set, likely related to permission issues, blah, blah, blah. So unfortunately, this means I can't retrieve the requested information at this time. So yeah, it's not able to, I'm gonna try it again. It's not able to, access the same data that, previously was able to access. So it's saying permission error that the grant is revoked. Okay, so yeah, this is just a simple demo to show like the different capabilities of VaultKit and how it handles different types of queries. Okay.